How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another match preview. Today we're going to be looking ahead to the massive fixture on Monday night, tomorrow night as you see this, where Man City will be taking on Tottenham away from home. Not at the new stadium, that's not been finished yet, but we'll be playing at Wembley, where we performed so well last season and got ourselves a 3-1 win. Let's look ahead to the game, look at what we can expect, and talk about how we think the game's going to go. Couple of things I do want to mention before we get into this preview. Firstly, thank you guys so much for your support on the channel again recently. I mentioned this in yesterday's career mode video, but your support on the general Man City real life stuff, like the match reactions, the match previews, has been incredible of late. So again, if you can smash a big thumbs up on this video, that'll be absolutely amazing. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel and put your thoughts in the comment section down below. I did also want to mention before the game, it's been a really strange weekend in terms of football with what's going on off the pitch as well as on it. We've had the terrible news of what's happened at the Leicester City Stadium with the helicopter that went down in the car park yesterday, which was, I mean, as I record this, no news has come out as far as casualties are concerned, but doesn't look good. So thoughts with everyone regarding that. And also, of course, we're playing Tottenham, and it's a Tottenham legend in Glenn Hoddle that actually collapsed in the B2 Sports studio yesterday. He's supposedly doing quite well after his initial treatment, but again, thoughts with everyone regarding that, and I'm sure there's going to be some emotional tributes at Wembley tomorrow night because of the fact that Glenn Hoddle is such a Tottenham legend, as it were. So as far as that goes, thoughts on the Leicester stuff and thoughts with everyone regarding Glenn Hoddle as well. But now focusing on the match itself, the reason that all of you guys are going to be watching this video, it's a game that I am actually really confident going into. Tottenham are a big team. They've got some dangerous players that we should be concerned about, but I just feel like the way that we're playing right now and the way that we dispatched of Tottenham at Wembley last season, I can only think positive thoughts going into this game, and hopefully they can prove me right. Looking at both squads ahead of the game, there's a couple of injuries for either side. When you look at Man City, we've only really got Gundogan that's out through injury. Delphi supposedly back in contention to start, although I don't think he will do because of the fact that Mendy's been playing so well. So from a City point of view, only Gundogan that's out, and you know, with Kevin De Bruyne coming back in last week, we've got an absolutely incredible replacement for him lined up straight away. And in terms of Spurs, Danny Rose is out, Vertonghen is out, which would usually be a big miss for most teams, but they have got Alderweireld and Davinson Sanchez, so two very decent centre-backs, better than decent, two very good centre-backs that can come in and fill that void. And Dele Alli, who has been out for 3 or 4 games now, is supposedly going to be making a return to the squad, so that's going to be a big boost to Tottenham, you would think, going into the game. Sticking with Tottenham, they've got a few dangerous players that we're all going to be very familiar with that can cause damage at any given moment. One of the big ones, of course, being Christian Eriksen, who scored against City last season in this same fixture. Bit of a lucky goal, to be honest. Got a double deflection. I can't remember, a defender slid in. I don't know who it was. Tried to make a slide tackle to get a block in. Hit the ball off Eriksen. It deflected off him and went in. So really pretty fortunate with that goal, but still a very dangerous player who can create something out of nothing. As Harry Kane, of course, leading the line. Not been in as mesmeric form as he would like this season so far. Not been bad by any stretch of the imagination, but not hitting the heights that he would be used to hitting and he'd be like to be hitting. Dele Alli, of course, could be returning, as we've already touched upon. Another player that can grab a game by the scruff of its neck. But when you look at the rest of the team, Tottenham are a team that usually are built on a very solid backline. You look at the players they've got: Lloris, Alderweireld will be playing, Sanchez will be playing. They just haven't been as good this season, I don't think, as they usually would be. So although they are big names and great players on their day, I just don't think they've been performing to their usual standards, and I think that we will be able to get the better of them back there, and that could be a key feature in the game. In terms of City and how I think we're going to line up, I've already mentioned, of course, we've got the Gundogan injury. We played a very different lineup in our last match in the Premier League, so it's always going to be a bit more difficult to predict with the Man City lineup, as always seems to be the case. You know, Guardiola likes to tinker, he likes to try different systems to get different players in there, and that's what can make it so hard to predict. I think the one area that should be easy to predict, is the back line. I think we're going to have Ederson in between the sticks, of course. Walker playing against his former club at right back, going to be looking to put in a big performance like he did last year. Centre-back partnership, I'm really hoping we go with Laporte and Stones. Laporte, who I touched upon in the Champions League reaction, has been absolutely sublime this season, so hopefully he can continue with that. And then Mendy coming in at left back again. I think that's probably the easiest part of the pitch to predict in terms of players, because that centre-back partnership of Stones and Laporte, you know, is probably the trickiest part, but even they've been so solid this season, they'll be surprised if he made any major changes to that. Looking further forward, and this is where it can get a little bit tricky, I think you're bound to see Fernandinho in there, holds the team together, that defensive rock, if you like, in the middle of the park that sits just in front of the defence. That's going to be a shoo-in that he starts. Ahead of him, I think you're going to see David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Bit harsh on Bernardo Silva because he's been sublime this season as well, but I don't think he's going to be playing in that central midfield role just because David Silva's been great this season. Scored a goal, of course, in the Champions League in midweek as well. And De Bruyne, De Bruyne is De Bruyne, phenomenal player. I think it's the first game that he's going to play the full 90 of. He's going to start from the get-go, and I think he's going to play the full 90. He scored a great goal against Tottenham. I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but I don't think it was in the Wembley fixture. I think it might have been in the game at the Etihad where he got crunched by Dele Alli, I think it was, then retaliated by absolutely smashing the ball past Laurie. A great goal. So he's going to be starting the game without doubt. And like I said, I think he's probably going to play the full 90. And ahead of him, I think you're going to see Sane on the left-hand side. I think you're going to see Aguero up top. And I think I really want Sterling to start, but I think you're going to see Mahrez. Mahrez has started the last 3 or 4 games now and playing 90 minutes in all of them. I mean, after that penalty miss against Liverpool, I thought it really might hurt him in his confidence, but he seems to have just gone from strength to strength, and he missed a couple of chances against Shakhtar in midweek, but still played very well. So I kind of expect Mahrez to start. I think Aguero's going to be up top. I know Jesus did score against Tottenham. He started there last season and played really well and played decently in that midweek game against Shakhtar, but he really needs a goal, Jesus. So I think Aguero's going to start. Got a great record against Tottenham as well. And then I think you're going to see Sane deployed out on that left-hand side. So a very strong 11. I think the major debating areas are going to be whether you're going to see Sterling or Mahrez on that right-hand side. Like I say, I think he's going to go for Mahrez. Whether you're going to see Bernardo Silva come in for a start, and perhaps whether you could see Kompany or Otamendi come in there for a bit of experience at the back. But that's how I think we're going to line up, and I think we're going to have enough to get the job done. Of course, I've already touched on the fact that we played in midweek against Shakhtar. That could be something that also influences the lineup and potentially could see Sterling come in there because, of course, Mahrez started in that game. I don't think Sterling started as well, but I could be wrong on that. I can't remember now, but Mahrez definitely started, so Sterling could come in because of that reason. But we obviously won our game. Really comfortable, great accomplished away European performance against Shakhtar, whereas Tottenham really struggled in their game against PSV. They were at Wembley and got held to a 2-2 draw. Luke de Jong getting a late equaliser for PSV, but Tottenham just don't seem to be hitting the heights that they did last season. A lot of people have put that down to the fact that they haven't got the most in-depth squad. They have got some dangerous players, as I've already touched upon, but they didn't make any signings last season, so they're coming in with exactly the same squad as last year, which is highly unusual. I think it was actually the first time in their Premier League history that a team have ever gone away for a summer, come back for the new season and not sign anyone at all. So highly unusual from Tottenham on that front. Despite the fact they haven't signed anyone, they have got a couple of players that could come in this season and make a difference that perhaps didn't feature a ton last season. The first big example of that would of course be Lucas Moura. Got player of the month in the opening month of the season. Very direct, very pacey, potential to cause us problems on the counter-attack. He's had a great start to the season last season, someone that didn't really feature a ton last year for them. And also Eric Lamela, who's a player that I really do quite like and is in decent form for them as well, A player that's been suffering a lot with injuries over the last couple of seasons, but undoubtedly a great talent, very strong on that left foot of his, and could cause problems. I don't think he'll start, but could come off the bench in a central or wide position, and someone that we could have to be very wary of. But Tottenham's setup is pretty well known at this point. They're always going to start with Harry Kane up top. You're then going to have Christian Eriksen in behind. Dele Alli's probably going to start, like I say, he's come back from injury, and that could be a big decision for Pochettino, because I think you're going to see Son out on that left-hand side, Lucas Moura out on the right-hand side. Then he's going to have 2 holding midfielders. I think Moussa Dembele is definitely going to be one of them, but how advanced and how ballsy he's feeling is going to be shown, I think, in the decision of whether he plays Dele Alli in that role and perhaps push it on a bit further forward, or someone like Eric Dyer or Wanyama. That could be a big decision he has to make personally. Because of how well we did against them last season, I think he's more likely to go to a reserved option and play 2 holding midfielders there, more likely to be Dembele and Dyer, or Dembele and Wanyama. And I think you could even see Ali played out wide in a more attacking position, because I do think he's going to start this game. So there's no big secret about how we're going to play for the game. You know, I can't see us changing our tactics in the slightest, particularly when you consider how successful it was against Tottenham last season at Wembley. You know, there's no reason to change anything. Hopefully, if we play our natural game, we'll do really, really well. We need some big performances from De Bruyne, from David Silva, from Aguero, and hopefully Laporte and Stones can be as solid as ever at the back, because I do think where this match is going to be won and lost is going to be in the centre of the park. You know, that's where all the big players are. Your Kane, Aguero, Ali, Eriksen, De Bruyne, David Silva, you know, need a big performance from Fernandinho as well. I think that is going to be where the game is going to be won or lost. And in my opinion, I'm going to go for a City win. Like I said, I'm feeling confident going into the game just because of how well we're playing. And Tottenham have been a bit hit and miss of late. So I do fancy us to go to Wembley and get the win. And I am actually going to go for a repeat scoreline of last season when we went to Wembley, which was 3-1. Hopefully, if we can play just like we did there, we can come away with all 3 points, and hopefully it'll be just as good of a performance. You know, Liverpool won on Saturday, so they've gone top of the table again. We've dropped down. We need to get the 3 points, put ourselves top of the table, and if we do come away with the win again, it's a massive statement. If, you know, do we even need to make statements anymore? We've been playing so well, but you know what I mean. It's a big statement to go away to a big competitor and pick up all 3 points, and I really do fancy us to do just that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the game. Maybe I'm being a bit too confident going into it, and again, that could bite me in the backside. But I do fancy us to get all 3 points. I do fancy us, you know, to put in a great performance purely because it's what we've been doing on a regular basis, week in, week out for so long now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That is going to end this match preview, guys. Love to hear what you think. Love to hear what you think the score's going to be, your predicted lineups, anything like that. And don't forget as well, I appreciate it so much your support on this channel recently and these kind of videos. If you did enjoy this, make sure to leave a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Fingers crossed for the big game tomorrow. I will, of course, be doing a match reaction as soon as the game is finished. That'll be going out late on Monday night. But yeah, that's going to wrap this one up, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll speak to you all there. Nidge out.